My name is Alan Scott and I'm the author of the Storm series set of books. However, today I'll be reading an extract from the Front Chronicles, which is from the Front Chronicles series, which are my attempt at sci-fi books. They are written in a diary format and are really my guilty pleasure. I had a great deal of fun writing them, and there's more of me as a person in this book than there is any of the Storm series. I hope I've written them in a humorous way and that you'll find them funny, but humour is a bit difficult. Everyone finds something people find humour in different things, so I hope you do. However, there's also a great deal of sadness within this book, as the lead character is a man alone, out of time, out of place. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. 2nd of January, year of our Lord, 3256. Well, she had to die. Let's face it, there's only so much flatulence one man can possibly stand during meal times. We've been sitting at the same table for a week now, and for that week I had to endure a number of silent but deadly attacks, as well as a number of very loud ones. On the positive side, she was 173. So thinking about it, it really was a mercy killing. Just for the record, I had slipped a poison into her strawberry ice cream, which she had waited to become a small lake of goo before happily sucking it up through a straw. I shudder while writing this as I recall the sound. The poison stopped her heart almost immediately, and she was dead within seconds. Apparently it took 2 men to pull the straw loose from her mouth. I was slightly upset at missing out on the biscuits and cheese, but apparently the protocol of having someone die at your table is to retire to the bar immediately for a recouping beverage. I would have preferred biscuits and cheese. 5th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. I'm still in two minds whether or not to keep up with this diary. I mean, what are you supposed to write in it? Got up, went to the toilet, got dressed, went for breakfast, etc., etc., which, let's face it, is what happens most days and is boring. It's very boring. 7th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. Got up, went to the toilet, got dressed, went for breakfast, went for a swim. It was a quiet day. 8th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. It was the funeral of that flatulence woman today. There was a very nice service before she was shot gracefully into speed towards a distant sun to burn up in its atmosphere. The name of the chair she died in after her: the Lady Athesia Marigold Hilary Susan Rose Blackthorn Chair. I think that was a nice touch. Her husband, 50 years her younger, was suitably upset and required the constant attention of 2 young female nurses. I must admit they were not wearing the nurse's uniform I was used to. Far too much cleavage and stocking tops showing. The nurses I knew wore sensible uniforms, looked tired, were covered in blood. Mind you, that was a long time ago, though I can still hear the falling shells at times, even if I don't want to. There was no biscuits and cheese at the buffet afterwards. I have put in a discreet complaint to the caterers. 9th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. I'm sitting here in my Y-fronts, lying on my bed, staring out the porthole at the sea of stars, as the space liner Little Wren makes its way on our 3-year tour of the Greenbelt Star Cluster. I'm in a reflective mood today. I was thinking back to 6 months ago when I was boarded this space liner. I was on the planet Mars. I was on the run. Mind you, I'm still on the run. My enemies closing all around me and my time was running out. It was then I had the brilliant idea of creating the diversion. The news said that over 500 people died, but you know how the journalists enhance everything. I'd say only about 450 odd people died, really. Anyway, with the little diversion, I managed to make my way onto Little Wren and escape into the sea of stars. I've just noticed a couple of holes in my Y-fronts. so I'll have to get some new ones. Pity is they're really comfortable. There is nothing more comfortable than an old pair of Y-fronts with holes. Think I'll have cheese souffle for dinner tonight. 13th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. These new Y-fronts are bloody killing me. They're squashing my plums terribly. 14th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. Have decided to go free balling. Went for a walk around the cabins. The quarters have some fascinating decor. 15th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. After a rather painful zip incident, I've gone back to the Y-fronts. Much safer and far less painful. I think I might end up with a scar. 16th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. Went swimming this morning. Lord Blackthorn was there with his two nurses, taking his morning dip. I did not know you could get the symbol of the medical profession on a bikini. When I say a bikini, what I mean is 5 or 6 bits of string which seem to make up a swimming garment. After my swim, I pottered around on the star deck, watching the universe gently slide by. Felt very small. As I watched, I could hear in the back of my mind the sound of gunfire and shells falling and friends dying. 17th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. Decided to go for another morning swim. Lord Blackthorn was there once again with his nurses. However, before they could get him into the swimming pool, the ship's security forces swooped out of nowhere and arrested him. I sank deeper into the water, so only the top of my head was showing. The nurses did not put up any resistance, much to the great disappointment of the security forces, I can tell you. 19th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. Apparently, Lord Blackthorn was arrested on charge of murder of his wife. He had killed her so he could be with his two nymphal lovers. It was a crime of passion. Suspicion had been aroused at his wife's funeral when he'd been overheard saying how easy it had all been, that, and of course finding the poison in his lordship's room. I tried sleeping earlier. The sounds of the past caught up with me. The shells falling, men screaming, and tired blood-soaked nurses shouting to make themselves heard over the terrible din. I can't sleep through my noise. I can't sleep through the memories. 25th of January, year of our Lord, 3256. That's it. I can stand it no more. I have cut 2 holes in my new Y-fronts and the relief is beyond belief. Once more I am comfortable. Sheer bliss. 31st of January, year of our Lord, 3256. The 2 nurses have become instant media stars and, after the trial, they will no doubt be hosting various TV shows or star-filled galas. Lord Blackthorn is not doing so well in the media, and most of the newsmen think he'll get the death penalty. My plums are back to normal, which is good. I'm still in 2 minds about this diary thing. Are you worth carrying on with? Anyway, time for biscuits and cheese. 1st of February, year of our Lord, 3256. Having slept on it, I've decided to keep the diary going, at least until it gets boring or repetitive. Anyway, it might be therapeutic. It's a Chinese banquet for dinner tonight. Looking forward to it, especially the crispy duck. 2nd of February, year of our Lord, 3256. The Chinese banquet was delicious. Pigged out and crispy duck, tea-smoked chicken, sweet and sour pork and chili beef. Felt quite sick afterwards. Didn't care a jot. Watched a bit of cloud news. The multi-billionaire Jock Jockson spacecraft is nearing completion, so the black hole project is going well. The project is called Deep Probe 7, and its main aim is to send people through a wormhole and out the other side. Send them to a brave new galaxy far, far away. What possibly could go wrong? 5th of February, Year of our Lord 3256. Enjoyed a walk around the market area of the starship Little Wren, perhaps before having a coffee and people watching. Could not help but think how different this area was from where I grew up. I grew up in a scheme, full of cold, grey tenement buildings. It seemed to rain every second day, and death was never far away. It was a perfect breeding ground for soldiers. The average life of someone living in that scheme was 54. The average life of someone walking around this shopping area is 100. For any nosy person reading this, hello. And you'd better fucking pray that I'm dead, or you're so mine. A scheme is a collection of houses or buildings constructed on the periphery of towns or cities. Normally they're full of gangs of youth who will chib you as soon as they look at you. So there we go, Mr. Nosy. Now you know what a scheme is. I like chicken salad for dinner, I think. 7th of February, Year of our Lord 3256. It's 04:25 hours and I'm lying in bed, naked, thinking about the scheme in which I was raised. Looking out the port window at the sea of stars, I try and recall the days of my early youth. There is nothing but a haze of images, mostly including drink, drugs, violence, and of course the great truth. Even at an early age, we knew the great truth, and we weren't fucking scared of it. In fact, we welcomed it, we laughed in its face, and we stuck 2 fingers up at it. That's why the schemes were perfect breeding ground for soldiers. I could not get to sleep even watching the great sea of stars, so I ended up in the swimming pool at 0600 hours and swam for an hour. I was joined by a middle-aged lady dressed in a conservative swimming costume. She just nodded and swam at the other end of the pool. When I got out of the pool, I could feel her eyes on me, running up my firm legs and over my back. I wonder what she made of the scars. After dressing, I broke my fast with scrambled eggs and then headed for the library. I enjoy the library. It's quiet and will reproduce any book you want. I'm currently reading An Inspector Calls by J.B. Priestley. I know it's a play, but it's still a wonderful read. I've been extremely lucky to have watched the 1954 film version with that great actor Alistair Sim. It was grainy and bits were missing, but to watch a film over 1,302 years old with an actor the calibre of Sim, it was worth watching. Saw the woman again at dinner. I noticed that she likes cheese and biscuits as well. 10th of February, Year of our Lord 3256. I have been swimming for 3 mornings now and no sign of the worm. No fool like an old fool, eh? 14th of February, Year of our Lord 3256. Have finished reading An Inspector Calls, hence need to find a new book to read. I've been to the library and had a crazy moment. I took out a book called The Battle for Gorefield by the historian Anne H.D. Brown. This is supposed to be a well-researched record of the battle. It isn't. It's complete and utter rubbish. I know. I fought in the bloody battle. Halfway through, I tossed the book on the floor. There's only so much lies one man can take. I lay down on my bed with my hands behind my head and stare at the ceiling as the sounds of shells crashing, men screaming, nurses covered in blood shouting to be heard fill my mind again. A. Brown said the defence of the field hospital was a valiant and bold action, that the men stood proud and fearless as they defended their brothers, and that without Major John Crane rallying the boys, it would have been a massacre. Bollocks. Complete and utter fucking bollocks. The Major was pissing himself in the shell hole and crying like a baby. The only reason we stopped at the field hospital and held the position because we were fucking fed up with running. We won that battle. Not through bravery, not through being model soldiers. We won because we fought harder and because we knew the great truth. We were the boys from the fucking scream and we laughed. When I finally sit up again, I noticed a card had been slipped under my door. It was an invite for an intimate Valentine dinner. The start time was 3 hours ago. I tossed it in the bin. I received a medal after that battle. So did 6 others. 3 of them posthumously. I also got noticed by the powers that be. 15th of February, year of our Lord, 3256. I went shopping for clothes today. I took a chance and bought some boxer shorts. They claim to be more comfortable than Y-fronts. We shall see. Must admit though, thought about a thong, but in the end thought better of it. Stopped by the library and took out a couple of musical data discs, classical music. Bet that surprised you. I do like to relax to classical music. Had a coffee, bought a ticket for tonight's show, Drew Beige and the Mystic Mind. He is a performer and mind reader who claims to have no special powers beyond his own witty banter and sleight of hand. The show was fantastic. Loved it. Wonder if he likes cheese and biscuits. Have a feeling that someone is watching me. 20th of February, year of our Lord, 3256. Boxer shorts feel slightly wrong, but must admit they are comfortable and they don't squash the old plums. 22nd of February, year of our Lord, 3256. Have just seen in the news that both of the nurses from the Blackthorn case have been acquitted and only Lord Blackthorn will stand trial on the charge of murder. I swear the blondes one tits have got bigger. 23rd of February, year of our Lord, 3256. While swimming, that middle-aged woman appeared and gave me a filthy look before diving into the pool and doing her length. That confirms who sent the note. Now, it's been a while since I've been with a woman, but I think I still know which bits to lick, twiddle or prod. This time I waited for her to finish and leave first. It was fairly easy to find out her name and where she stays. At the evening meal, I walked up to her table, introduced myself and asked if I could join her. She hesitates just long enough to keep me waiting before agreeing. We have a nice meal and it was back to mine for mad passionate sex. Apparently she's leaving the ship at the end of the month. Oh dear, what a pity. 24th of February, year of our Lord, 3256. Even more sex. 25th of February, year of our Lord, 3256. This woman has one hell of a sexual appetite, and my back has been shredded. The whips and handcuffs came out tonight. 26th of February, year of our Lord, 3256. Made her orgasm so hard it took her 10 minutes to recover. Had a huge smile on my face after that one. 28th of February, year of our Lord, 3256. She left today by shuttle to go to the planet Aqua 4. Are you there, nosy? Well, if you are, a bit of advice for you, especially if you're male. A real man, hear that, a real man, finds out what a woman likes in bed and does it to her. He does not presume that all women like the same thing, or that all she wants is 3.5 minutes of hard, fast sex. I tell you what, find out what she wants, what she likes, and do it to her. Because when you get it right, and she has the orgasm of her life, well then, you'll be in for a very special treat. Trust me on this, my friend. Especially as you'll be dead soon, because you're reading my fucking diary. Second of March, year of our Lord, 3256. It's been a bloody bad day. Went for a shower this morning and stubbed my toe. It bloody hurt. Went to break my fast, and while sitting at my table munching on my toast and marmalade, some little scrote came running through the restaurant, being chased by his friend, bumped into my table and sent my tea flying all over me. His mother came over and laughed apologetically and said something about kids today. It took all of my control to laugh lightly back and tell her to think nothing of it. Got back to my cabin and found that I'd forgotten my key. Stood for 5 minutes, slowly headbutting the door out of sheer frustration before going to find a member of the crew. When I finally got into my room, I discovered I'd left the sink tap on. Hence, I'd flooded the ensuite and some of the main room. I started to swear. The poor crew member went bright red and then went to turn the tap off. That was 8 hours ago. I have finally been allowed back into my room after spending the day sitting on the day deck with wet, stained trousers and shirt. The classical music is playing and I'm sitting on my bed in my boxers, love heart motifs by the way, sipping a rather nice Macallan 20-year-old whiskey straight from the bottle. Hoping that tomorrow will be a better day. Good night. 4th of March, year of our Lord, 3256. Trying to work out why I keep on putting year of our Lord in the date. Why the hell do I do that? 5th of March, 3256. I was wide awake at 0500 hours, so started doing my ironing. I do like ironing. Well, after serving 20 odd years in the army, you can't help but be good at and enjoy ironing. There's nothing quite like a lovely straight crease down your sleeve shirt. Well, maybe. Except for shiny, shiny shoes. One of the many paradoxes of His Royal Majesty's Army, you are trained to kill, expected to die, but you must look smart and have lovely straight creases in your shirt sleeves and shiny, shiny shoes. I was a rebel. I wore wrinkly Y-fronts when on parade. Occasionally they were stained as well. 8th of March, 3256. Spent most of the day on the star deck, staring out into space and remembering. I should not try and remember. It's bad for me. However, sometimes I feel that all I have is the past. 10th of March, 3256. Went back to the star deck and watched the universe. It watched me back. 11th of March, 3256. Once again went to the star deck and watched the deep black. I heard that people have gone insane watching the universe. It just gives me a deep feeling of loneliness. Then again, I am all alone. The last of the boys from the scheme. We were betrayed and massacred by those that made us into killing machines. As the sole survivor, I took it upon myself to bring revenge to each and every person that betrayed us. With hate and vengeance in my heart, I killed them all. The news people called me a degenerate killer. The police called me a psychopath. Now, 12 months later, there's nothing in my heart, so I watch the universe and try to fill the empty void within me with memories. The memories are painful, but I'm used to pain. I was a soldier. 15th of March, year of our Lord, 3256. Have decided to add back in year of our Lord. It just looks better. Are you there, nosy? Have been brave enough to keep on reading? Good for you. Good for you. Do you want me to tell you a story? Well, here it is. What? It's almost midnight. So a bedtime story then. You'll have to excuse me though, I've had at least half a bottle of Macallan's down me. It was after that skirmish at the hospital, and me and the surviving lads had been spotted by the powers that be. The powers that be are the bigwigs in the military. You know the ones I mean, the Richum craniums. Well, anyway, they whisked us off to a special training camp. 6 of us died in that camp. It was a tough 20 weeks. However, things got worse when Major Tim Sanderson arrived. He's 100% total wanker. 16th of March, year of our Lord, 3256. Woke up with a hangover and memories of Tim Sanderson. Not a good combination. 18th of March, year of our Lord, 3256. I've been thinking about the boys and that dickhead Sanderson. We were the best. We won every engagement we were sent in, every dark op. We were the best. We were the best because we knew the great truth and we laughed. We laughed. Sometimes we laughed until we cried. Oh, sod it, I'm off to get drunk. 22nd of March, year of our Lord, 3256. I swear I'm going to kill that lad when he gets out of his cast. The little scrote and his maid rode straight into me on their scooters, which apparently are the latest thing among the youth, and broke my leg in 2 places. Their mother fussed over them before smiling, saying at me, "Boys will be boys. She'll have to die too." 23rd of March, year of our Lord, 3256. I have discovered a new hell, a new level of depravity. It's called daytime TV. What absolute rubbish. 28th of March, year of our Lord, 3256. My brain is going to melt out my ear. Although the programmes on antiques are rather good, and I'm picking up some really good recipe ideas for a summer picnic using leftovers from the night before the evening meal, there's only one slight problem. I live on a fucking starship and I eat in a restaurant each and every day. There are no leftovers. 31st of March, year of our Lord, 3256. Only 4 more days of daytime TV. I can make it. I can be strong. I fought at the Battle of Clifton, for fuck's sake. Caught myself singing one of the TV theme tunes earlier. I almost wept. Those kids and their mother must suffer. 4th of April, year of our Lord, 3256. Had my plaster removed today. What a relief. Unfortunately, the doctor asked me a lot of questions about the scars on my body. I told him the usual lie about being caught in a terrorist attack on the planet Prime 5 in 3236. Most people have let it go at that point, but not him. He said that might explain some of the scarring, but not the scars over the scars. He then said he'd been a combat medic. That signed his death warrant. I really didn't want to kill him. He seemed such a nice man. 5th of April, year of our Lord, 3256. An unfortunate fire has swept through one of the med bays, killing everyone. No one is too sure how it started, though bad wiring is thought to blame. Poor maintenance was blamed for the fire extinguishers not working properly and the fire door refusing to open. One of the nurses was due to get married in 4 months' time. 10th of April, year of our Lord, 3256. Went shopping and bought some more boxer shorts. Days of the week on them. And a couple of Y-fronts for old time's sake, or when I want to feel sexy. Saw those little scroats today and managed to accidentally push one of them off the level 3 mezzanine. He landed in a stall that was selling glass items. When his mum came rushing over, I smiled and said, "Boys will be boys." She wept a lot. I needed more than 2 mops to clean up the mess. I have that feeling of being watched again. 11th of April, year of our Lord, 3256. The man in the charge of the med bay maintenance killed himself today. He entered a space lock without a spacesuit and opened the door. They say he was depressed. I'm in the mood for cheesecake. I'm going to end the reading there. I hope you enjoyed it. The diary does go all the way through to... Let me just check. I'm just checking now. I should know this before I started it. does go all the way through to September of the year. And if you're interested, you can always download the book. It's only about £1 or something equivalent to that. But anyway, as always, the usual caveat. No part of this publication may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any forms or means electronically, mechanically, photographically, recording, or otherwise without the prior permission of the author, i.e. me. This is a work of fiction. All characters and events portrayed in this book are fictional, and any resemblance to real people or incidents are purely coincidental.